As we were wrapping up last time, you had arrived at the 2-day bridge, a very large crossing, the Bleakman River, which is the stream that, or I shouldn't say stream, the river that you're crossing is about 3/4 of a mile wide. It's a very long river, and it's got a very sizable bridge that legend says was built in 2 days after Lockheed defeated Scala. People were so eager to get from Stone's Throw to where she landed that they built the bridge in 2 days, according to legend. Maybe. Seems unlikely. It's a pretty big bridge. If they did build it, it didn't look like this back then. It is also a heavily armed bridge, and currently crossing it is very heavily policed, especially right now, with a lot of people either leaving, going away from where Scala supposedly has returned, or indeed many people going towards where Scala has supposedly returned, those who are interested in enlisting to fight against her. It was night as you all arrived, and you set up to make camp on the near side of the bridge before you crossed in the morning. You had made watches, but I don't remember who is in each watch. Would you all...
Hold
In
on,
the
this was
Roll20
written.
chat.
It was written down.
Yeah,
First
First
Yeah.
one is Rialto Caldana, then it's Varys Carmen, then it's Brux and Falah.
And then it's Brux and Falah.
I don't know
Okay.
if Melody's going to sleep or what happened there, but
Okay.
Melody.
it might have been Melody and Callie. Might
Yeah,
be sleeping. Or
that might be
something.
the fourth watch, yeah.
I think they're flying there. They're gonna just fly.
So that's where we're gonna pick things up, as you were all just getting ready to handle or to settle down for the evening and build your camp. But as we will be doing in this act, we will start things off with a vignette elsewhere in Serene. And tonight's vignette takes us not too far away from where you are, just a couple days travel to the south, past South Cross, in Mina's Grove. Matriarch Rashaya, please be reasonable. The matriarch pulled her jacket on and cast a glance back at the young woman she'd taken over the training of. Ika, I don't think it is unreasonable to decide I am better used leading my people in the battlefield than I am sitting on a cushion here. Just as I don't think it is your place to tell me what is reasonable. You are my assistant, not my keeper. Ika's cheeks blushed red and she looked away, a little crestfallen. I understand, matriarch, but you are the matriarch of our people, all of our people, not just our soldiers, she insisted. I will remind you the prior matriarch was in her 80s. You cannot expect me to lead in the same way she did, and I have no intention to try. Furthermore, we don't have soldiers, Ika. But the call has gone out for those willing to stand against Scala. 8 centuries ago, the Tieflings were the last to join the fight against her, and I'll be damned if we're not first this time, she said as she began wrapping tape around her knuckles. So I will lead whoever is willing to follow me. And what of your people here? They still need leadership, argued Ika. You have been trained to serve as matriarch for over a decade. I presume I can entrust things to you in my absence, asked Rashaya. Ika deflated a little, and she clenched her fists. Of course I can, but our people chose you. And Rashaya chuckles at that. Well, then hopefully they will follow me into battle. That will bring us back to what's going on in our area. And I need the proper music for that. This one. Oh. As you're all setting up camp, you notice that you're not the only ones. The wait to cross the bridge, especially when you don't have explicit permission of the Stone's Throw government, isn't negligible. So here, there are a number of people setting up campsites. From some of them, you can hear music as people play. From others, you see some large feasts being prepared for other groups that are traveling. A couple of camps over, you can see a fortune teller working. She has a young woman at her table that looks absolutely enraptured by what she's seeing. Carmen rolls her eyes at that, and Falah plops down next to your campfire, muttering out something about what a load of garbage. Callie, on the other hand, looks entranced. She smiles cheerfully and makes her way over to get a better look at what's happening. What would you all like to do as you set up your camp?
If memory serves, Varys is burying the damn sword.
Varys
Yeah.
did bury
Yep.
Sanguine Moon, yes.
A couple feet down in the earth.
I'll help set up things, and then I will also see what's going on, to make sure that Callie doesn't run off and kill herself.
Hurtful, but not inaccurate. All right. Everyone
I'll
else?
stay with the broody bunch.
The broody bunch.
Okay. I presume that is
That's the
Carmen and
way
Falal.
we became the broody bunch.
All right. So Caldana's sticking around here. Melody, Cerberus, Brooks, what are you doing?
I'll
Working
finish.
on
Melody's a moth
setting up
to the
camp
flame.
and everything.
Okay, Melody's like a moth to the flame. Brooks?
Helping set up, start getting, food or whatever, normal stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Okay. And Varys?
Melody is also gonna go with Rialta and Callie.
Varys?
Varys is also gonna finish burying the sword, help set up camp, clean armor, all just basic tasks. He has no special plans for the evening.
Very well. So for those of you heading over then, the fortune teller is a halfling woman in her 30s with long silver hair down her back. She wears a deep blue dress that shows off a great deal of cleavage. Her eyes are sky blue and she has a smile a mile wide. Dark skin is flecked with light blue freckles and she has long, well cared for nails that click on the wood at the table she sits at. As you approach, the other girl is just beginning to stand up and she looks quite pleased as she meanders off. But the woman opens her arms wide and smiles brightly. Welcome! Welcome to the wagon of the marvelous Madame Meredith. Please come closer. Fortunes foretold, blessings bestowed, curses cured. But beware, each of you. What you pay is what you shall receive. Callie glances over at you. I mean, you first?
Me first?
I can go first.
Well, what exactly, what sorts of things, what do we call you, first of all?
Madame Meredith.
Madam Meredith, and what sorts of readings do you provide?
Well, it depends on the person and it depends on what they pay. I could tell you something relating to the material if you were willing to surrender something material. I could tell you something relating to the mind if you're willing to surrender something related to the mind. Still, if you would give me something physical of yourself, I could show you what that would become in the future.
I see. So, sort of future speak, if you gain something of our bodies.
Indeed. Something, let's see, a lock of your hair would do, a drop of your blood would be fine. Something physical, something that exists on your person.
Or a secret for a secret.
A secret for a secret, or a memory for a memory, if you'd care to surrender something of the mind. Or if you would just like something simple of the material, something of the material will do nicely as well.
My
My
kinda-
head hurts.
Huh?
My
Well
head
then, perhaps nothing of the mental for you, my dear.
hurts. No, you said a bunch of things and I couldn't follow. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Perhaps if you watch, you'll see and come to understand exactly what it is I'm talking about. You, my pink-haired friend, please have a seat. Callie plops down. Now then, would you like to know? What would you like to know? Would you like to know something of the material, something of the mental, or something of the future? Callie seems to think about that for a moment. I would like to know a secret. She raises an eyebrow. A secret. Well, if it is a secret you wish to know, then I must know a secret from you first. You pay what you receive. Callie thinks about it for a long moment. And she nods. And she leans in and whispers in this person's ear. And you see Madame Meredith raise her eyebrows and give her almost a quizzical, questioning sort of look, skeptical even, before she puts a hand on hers and flips it over to look at her palm. Ah, you speak true after all. Fascinating. Very well then, a secret in exchange. One that is fitting such of something you just said to me. She leans in closely and starts to whisper again. Hard to make out. If you want to try, you're welcome to.
Sure, I can try.
Give me a perception or investigation check.
22 perception.
A pervestigation check.
All right. I would say with a 22 perception check, it would appear Sky Dwarvish ears are a little better than the woman gives credit for. Or perhaps, just perhaps, she wanted you to hear. And she has whispered to Callie that the people she is currently traveling with are soon to learn a secret about Laki that no one else in the world knows. Callie, her eyes practically sparkle at this, and she hops up excitedly as she is currently rethinking her plans.
Rialto just kind of takes note of this and nods. When you say something personal, what do you do with such things? Is it for your reading, or do you keep them?
Well, I certainly do need them to do the reading. It depends. If I get something that I think might be valuable or hold use to me in the future, I may keep it. Most things I do not.
Okay. She'll shrug and walk over, and she'll pluck a few hairs from her head.
A few hairs from your head. Very well then. You take the hairs, and she brings out a small bowl. The bowl is made of what looks like moonstone. It is a lovely, rough bowl. However, it has been sanded down to at least be smooth. And as you drop the hairs in, she takes out a cloth, which she places over the top of it, and then with a snap of her fingers, the cloth catches on fire and the hairs burn inside, creating a powder. And she then holds the bowl up and blows the ash into your face.
Rude.
Hate these things.
As the ash clears, Rialta,
Mhm.
you are not sitting at this table anymore.
Interesting.
You are standing on a stone bridge. It is not a particularly wide walkway, maybe enough for two people to walk side by side on. There are no railings on it either. And on either side of you is lava. All around you, fire is erupting up into the air. The heat of this place is intense. And standing across from you is your brother. Saren looks back at you, his teeth gritted and tears falling down his cheeks as he holds a sword in your direction. And then you snap back.
Kind of shakes the remaining parts of the vision away.
If you are concerned about me keeping any of it, I assure you I will not.
Well, that makes sense. I suppose there is something to the work that you do.
Oh, I do my best to give good advice and information. No, I will give you the warning, of course. As much as I know, Sky Dwarves like to believe that past, present, and future are all written in stone and cannot be changed, that they are immutable. Such things are seldom the case. Though you have seen this future, know that it is not guaranteed to come to pass.
Very well. He kind of nods and then looks to Melody. If you're interested, I think he also accepts coin for material things.
And at that, Melody kind of like thinks for a moment, and she starts to undo one of the links around her horns.
Oh.
And just kind of like stares at it for a bit.
The oh,
My
there- oh,
mom gave this to me. When I could sing a song by myself.
it is a lovely piece.
Could you? Would it help if would it help you see how they're doing?
Ah, so you have a specific question you would like to see. Oh, thank you, Heartslot, for the 19 months. Welcome in.
19 months.
So you have a specific question you'd like to see. You wish to know the current condition of your parents and what they are doing. I'll tell you what, my dear. For one of your scales, and that, I will tell you where they are, and I will give you a vision.
Really?
I will.
And Melody kind of like looks over to Rialda, like kind of like in what should I do expression on her face.
Well, is that item you have worth giving up for the information she could give you?
If knowing they're safe, yeah. I know they're out there now. I just want to know they're safe.
Oh. If you're asking whether I think it'll be a waste of time, I don't believe so. She seems gifted in the craft she makes. Just if you're willing to give that up, and if you are, then I don't foresee that it's going to hurt you any. It's that you'll lose that item.
And she kind of like looks back at the links on her in her hands. And she closes it and just like takes off one of her scales and hands it over.
He nods. And she bids you to sit down in front of her. She looks at your scale, and she begins to crush it into a powder using a mortar and pestle. Very well, then. First, you wish to know where they are. And using the chain links, she begins to separate each of the chain links. And then takes out a small map of Terrasen. And with a flick of her wrist, scatters the chain links all over this map. She begins to feel around, moving them. And then one of them, her hand kind of stops over, and she presses a finger down on it. I will let you see on the map where she is pointing. And everyone, while you're at it, can see our spiffy new map.
Woo!
Got nice and reworked. Don't mind this part up here. It's a little on fire at the moment. Everything else is fine.
That's fire.
She is pointing right there. That is where they are.
Hmm.
That's a little near Scala's Wrath.
That's where
Yes.
we're going.
It is.
They have been sent there.
Oh no, that was me. That was Mal.
Oh, well, that's what she says nevertheless. They have been sent there.
Do I see this too?
Yeah, you can see her.
Okay.
She's pointing on the map.
Huh.
Sent there.
Indeed. By whom I do not know. But I owe you a vision. I give you the same warning I gave to our lovely friend here. Just because you see it does not mean it is guaranteed to come to pass. It is but one possible future, the one most likely given how the circumstances are right now. And she lifts up the mortar and pestle and again blows this dust back out. Your vision is obscured for a moment, Melody. But as it clears, you see yourself. You are in your body, though you are maybe a little bit older than you were before. You are entering the gates of Farhome. You are stepping into the home that you have not been in now for probably over a decade. And as you enter, you hear a voice call out from behind you. Melody, please, let us keep up. We're not quite as spry as we once were. And you turn, and your parents are standing there. And that's where your vision ends.
Rialta's seeing what she looks like while she's in the trance.
She looks normal, though she is looking around as if seeing things that you obviously cannot see. She appears conscious.
When Melody hears the voice and sees both of her mothers, there's definitely gonna be a moment where tears like just start pricking at her eyes.
Now,
Before her vision comes back and she blinks and she just goes, "Oh."
it is as I say. I cannot promise that this future will come to pass. But for your kind, for such parting with something so sentimental, I feel I owe you something sentimental in return. What could it be? What could it be? Yes. And you see her dig down into her pouch. And when she comes up, she has a music box in her hands, which she places on the table and offers to you. Now, this is not for you. However, it belongs to someone that you will soon see. So I would appreciate it you returning it to them.
Oh, of course. Do you have a name or what do they look like?
She smiles pleasantly. Worry not, child. They will get it from you when the time is right. You need not know.
Sorry, I'm not the brightest. I'm not really as smart as Rialda is, so kinda have to. But you know what? I'll do my best with it.
Intelligence comes in many forms, my dear. Thank you for your patronage this evening.
Of course. Also, shoot. Sorry, I'm usually really good at this, but
Well, have
may I
no
offer
fear.
you a
This
song?
happens often in the presence of the marvelous Madame Meredith. A song? I would love a song.
And Melody just pulls out a dragon song and just starts strumming, and she kind of like looks around, sees there's no other real like raised area, so she just kind of like stands up. I think she towers over most people at that point.
I would say so, yes.
Okay, and takes a deep breath and starts singing about the Whispers in Silence theme song. I'm not doing
Just go ahead and give me a performance check.
Okay. Right, I can roll here now. Hold on.
I feel like it would be hard to sing that song with this background music.
Yeah, I don't think it would fit with this music.
18.
All right. I count 26, but
yeah, I was gonna say
Or
26.
26,
looks
yeah.
all right, yeah. 26. Yeah, okay, that is a pretty solid performance. She seems enraptured, enjoying the song quite a bit before she bows her head politely. Well, then, for such a kind gift given, I fear I have told you what I know of you, but if one of your friends cares to have something else known about them, send them over. They are owed one.
Oh, I can think of a couple of people.
And she kind of like looks to Rialta and she goes,
I'll go get them.
and raises off to the Broody Bunch.
Okay. I suppose I can wait here.
The Broody Bunch.
As you're waiting there, you see her looking up, Rialto. You see her looking up and just gazing at the stars and moon. Beautiful, is it not?
Always.
Mm.
Do you read them too?
Oh, all the time.
You must have had a teacher.
No, actually. I learned, well, how so many in my era had to learn. I learned through doing.
You're doing.
Yes. Practice. Practice makes perfect, does it not?
A teacher of mine once upon a time said, practice only makes perfect if you're perfect while practicing.
He chuckles at that. That is fair. Practice makes permanent, perhaps.
When you say your era, what do you mean?
Oh. We all not live in a era, no matter when we are born.
I know it's impolite to ask the age of a person, but you are now piquing my curiosity.
You are asking a fortune teller her age.
You don't have to answer. I know it's rude.
Well, let's see. Un momento.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
You could just tell you that she's not going to answer. You don't have to answer.
I would be, I will be 133 in the next year.
You're at 33. Huh. It's interesting. So you have seen much.
Much and more. She does not look 133.
Yeah, I
She looks probably 30.
And I am to assume, based on how you look, that certainly this will not be your last year here on in our world.
Looks can be deceiving. It may well be my final year. It may well be all our final years.
That is certainly another concern.
But I certainly hope it is not. I do hope to gaze upon this star for many more centuries.
She kind of looks at her a little quizzically.
He offers you a small smile.
Of mysteries abound with someone as powerful and strange as you. What are you doing selling fortunes here?
Telling you your fortune. This is where I am supposed to be.
Says who?
The stars.
Are you a follower of Selena?
Something like that.
Stare. Does she look anything like the Selena I met?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we could have started with that.
There's a lot of similarities. Like, she doesn't look exactly the same.
Yeah.
It makes you think of when you met Morena, who was the priestess to Penumbra. And
Okay.
Penumbra was able to inhabit her as an avatar.
Got it. And she'll... Okay. With that said, she'll nod and say, I wonder if this is not our first meeting then.
I find it unlikely. Just as I hope it is not our last.
Indeed.
Your friends return. Melody, you head over to the Broody Bunch, as it were. What do you say?
Guys! I found someone who can answer a question. questions for you, and I sang her a song, and she told me that I could tell one of you that you could get your stuff read too. She's really good.
You're
I think-
muted, Caldana.
Oh, Kalana, you're muted. Yeah.
Damn it. I'm gonna glance around and kind of see what other people's reactions are.
Fair.
Falah's reaction is eye roll. Carmen's reaction is, oh, honey.
She blew dust in my face, and I saw home and my parents and
Okay,
yeah.
Carmen's reaction to that is, that's not how that usually works.
She's got some real primo stuff.
Yeah, I'll say she does. All right, so does
I'll-
anyone go over?
I'll shrug. The hell? Why not?
Very well.
Hey, our
Ferris, Brooks?
buddies.
I didn't know that Yeah, I mean, if I'm in the same area as the Broody bunch, I'm not Broody.
No, but I assume you're by the campfire.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Well, that's where they're brooding at.
I have no fondness for fortune tellers.
That is fair, I would say.
Fortune. I suppose I might have something to offer. Well, if nothing else, it'll be interesting to say what they say to you, Caldana. I'll go with.
Very well.
Yeah. She's kind of a little weird. She's kind of a little weird. She doesn't, or you could offer her anything. Rialta gave her hair, and Callie whispered in her ear, and they whispered back, and I think they whispered back.
She said
That-
it was butt stuff.
Sounds more like a
Wait, I thought we
Phase
were whisper
trade.
buddies.
but.
Well, as you make your way back over, the halfling woman stands and bows politely. Welcome, welcome. Always welcome to have more around the table. I am, as I have introduced myself to them already, but I am the marvelous Madame Meredith. Welcome in. As the lovely Sky Dwarf and Dragonborn can attest, here at my wagon, you merely you receive what you pay. Tell me something in secret, and I will tell you something in secret in return. Offer me something material, I will give you a location of something material in return, or tell you where to find something. Perhaps even give you something material of my own. If you offer me something of yourself, I will show you one possible future for it.
Rialta will just kind of, if anyone's looking to her for like, is this legit? She'll nod. This
I
is
definitely am looking at her like, is this legit?
She certainly has multiple talents for divining fortunes and knowing things.
My compatriot, the one that likes to sing, said that you had a free reading for
Yes,
my
I
friend
do.
here.
I do indeed. I was given something, a song, something personal. I would show you either a piece of your future for that, or I could call that something of the mind and give you a secret or a memory that otherwise you may not understand or know. What is it that you would like to know, Sir Varus, or would you care to see your own future?
Oh, I think the freebie goes to Caldana. I have something to give you.
Oh, very well then. Ms. Flametongue, she smiles.
Aldana just blinks.
Wait,
Is
wait.
Flame Tongue?
Am I mistaken? I apologize.
Wait, I thought your name was Caldana.
How do you know that?
She just smiles, a mile wide.
Rialta winces. Like I said, she's quite good.
Only one person has ever called me that.
Well, What is it you wish to know?
So Kelly, my options were either
Something-
a memory or the future.
A memory or a
more like a
or a
secret.
secret
It's more like
that
a
you
secret
couldn't
or a future.
otherwise know.
Yeah.
Or yes, a vision of your future.
Which I guess in your case, a secret could be a memory, but
I'll learn a secret, I suppose.
He nods and beckons you to sit.
I'll sit.
She takes out a large basin, and in this basin, there is beautifully reflective water. It reflects the night sky, still slight hints of orange, but mostly turning dark now and beginning to show the stars. And then she bids you to place your finger in the bowl and swirl it around once.
I'll follow the instructions.
As you do. And then she tells you to gaze in. And as you look into this basin, you see Soraya. She looks beat up, I guess would be the right word for how she looks. But not in pain. She looks determined at the moment as she is pushing herself back up to her feet. She grips a sword, drawing it up and clashing with some unseen opponent. And around her neck, you can see the locket that you purchased her. And then the vision scatters in the basin.
Haldana's just gonna definitely, she's staring for a couple seconds after it goes away, just looking utterly perplexed.
If this woman saw what you saw, she clearly isn't showing it that she did. Perhaps she doesn't know what you're able to see. She just knows that you saw something of relevance. I trust that is satisfactory.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
You are most welcome, Ms. Caldana Flametongue.
just kind of looks at her. Name change? She brings her book as if ready to cross something out, but looking for confirmation so she doesn't waste ink.
We'll talk about it later.
Puts it down. Nope, she adds a question mark that puts it down.
And you, my good Sir Knight of the Order of Oak and Ash, please take your turn. Have a seat. What may I divine for you?
I am wholly practical. We are on a mission. And so I offer you something in hopes that you can provide something similar but different in return.
Ah.
And Sir Varys will take off his shoulder his old shield. His shield, his old kite shield that was painted green. And he hands it to her. This protected me for many, many years, though I have something better now. I hope that it can serve you the same, but we are still in need of protection. Old, sturdy, reliable. That is my offering to you.
I see. For something old and sturdy and reliable, perhaps what you need then is something new and young and vigorous. Indeed. This will be acceptable. And she takes the shield and places it back behind her wagon. And then she reaches into her bag and pulls out a small piece of jerky. It is not like any jerky you've ever seen before. It doesn't particularly look as though it's made of meat or maybe some sort of old plant matter. And yet, as she takes it out, your Nodweir companion starts to very excitedly pop up onto your shoulder and stamp his feet on your shoulder.
Oh.
And Hemlock quickly scrambles down your hand and she offers the treat to Hemlock, who munches on it and seems to do a very happy munch. He seems quite pleased as he goes nom 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 nom. And then he scrambles back up into your pack. She then reaches down into the bag and takes out a second of these treats, which she hands to you, Sir Varys. This is for Hemlock's sister.
Oh. I did not know Hemlock had a sister.
You will.
Very good. Thank you. I'm sure it will come in handy.
I am certain it will.
Sir Varys will bow and stand up after stowing the maybe meat.
Beyond meat, even.
Yeah, the Beyond
Yeah.
Meat, yes.
Yes.
Someone call it impossible meat, actually.
Yes, yes.
But yes, so she bows her head politely once more. Well then, I do trust your fortunes have proven favorable.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I have a question. It's not like a fortune telling question, but I just want to know if you know a place where we could get like some kind of drink. Not the alcohol stuff for them, but not for me. I'm not old enough to.
You wish to find something alcoholic to drink?
For
Or
them.
they do? Well, the good news is you are traveling towards Lockheed's Landing, which has a number of excellent bars and inns in it. I am told the Dying Gasp, or the Last Gasp, I'm sorry, is what it's called. The Last Gasp is a particularly delightful bar in terms of their spirits.
Why are you asking about alcohol, Melody?
Because we're gonna play another round of what is up with that.
And she before she continues, she takes out a gold and deposits in a different purse. And she goes,
Yeah, because I have a lot of questions.
Fair enough. Very well. Well, we'll be sure to take a gander then.
I sincerely hope to see you all again along the road somewhere.
Yes, till next time, Madame Meredith.
She bows her head politely.
Thank you for the nice things.
I aim to please.
Me
Come
too.
on.
When I
Fake
sing,
meat.
I like to make people smile.
So you all make your way back over towards the campground, towards your particular area of the campground, I should say, and kind of look around for a little bit as people are starting to settle in for the night. Many are starting to go to bed, having set up watches of their own for their own camp. It's not particularly dangerous here. There certainly aren't going to be a lot of bandit attacks this close to a large military outpost. However, you know, you never know when there's going to be someone rifling through things at camp, so most people are setting up some sort of watch. Who did we have as our first watch again?
Rialta and Caldana.
Rialta and Caldana. All right, so everybody settles down for the evening to start to go to sleep, and Rialta and Caldana, you have the first watch. Both of you give me a perception check.
Damn. Perception. I rolled a 20. Dirty 20.
21.
Caldana got higher than me. Oh, shit.
All right. Go ahead. If you have anything you want to say to each other.
Okay. I will settle down. I will then pull out my journal and look at Caldana. So something I should know.
Hard to see with the fire. Caldana's actually blushing a little bit.
Hmm.
I don't know how she knew that name.
Well, I know, but I'm afraid she something to do with a certain someone that can read moons and stars. Points at her tattoo.
Wait, did we
Wouldn't
just
I
meet?
have thought
Did
that
we
would
just
give
meet
her that particular piece of information, but it is what it is, I suppose.
So, new name?
It. I don't like Era's daughter. It's who I was. I'm not her anymore.
Knew you. Got it. She starts scratching out. Well, actually, no, she doesn't do that. 'Cause she attempts to, and she goes, "Wait, no, for prosperity's sake," and then just puts nay, N-E, N-E with the accent E, Era's daughter, and then puts Flame Tongue at the end. What's the name Flame Tongue from?
Well.
Yeah, Caldana, what's it from?
You know how I mentioned only one person called me that? That. Soraya? Or Soraya? God damn it.
God
name.
damn it!
Soraya gave you the name Flame's Tongue?
From her lips to yours. You know what I'm saying?
I should say it.
I see. She doesn't break face.
Caldana is. I don't know what the tiefling version of, like, bright red blushing is.
Super bright pink, you said, I think.
Pink, yeah.
She's like glowing neon pink right now.
Is this embarrassing?
Mm,
Oh, that's one word for it.
context, I got the name in.
Context. Your tongue on fire sometimes?
It's a metaphor.
Someone should say that out loud.
Everyone else is asleep.
I know.
If
I know.
Varys is hearing this, he for sure would be like, "Oh God!" Roll over, trying desperately to put his pillow in his ears.
And then a second later. Oh, okay. The kissing.
Yeah.
You're getting
it's
there.
exactly the kissing.
I'm just
Wait.
gonna say, like, Caldana would probably have a 2 on the fucking deception check for that.
He kind of looks at her, thinks about it, and then it finally clicks into place. Oh, we don't need to write that part down in the history.
Yeah, I mean, how many N's are even in it? It's just hard to remember. So.
Well, so that will be forever subscribed as your last name.
Proof of your cunning
Would be-
linguistics.
But, yeah, we'll say it's because you're very well spoken.
Yeah,
I mean, I do breathe fire sometimes. There is that.
sure
Yes.
does.
That.
Sure does.
If you were perhaps working in a brothel, I would say it's a perfect name, quite frankly.
Fucking
But I don't believe that is in your future.
stokes the fires. You cook a fucking
Look at
egg
the
on that
context where I
thing.
got it from.
Whew.
Private
Like
notations.
the top of a minivan.
She gets a second book of private notes.
It's got a lot of
Things I
pictures
didn't-
of flowers in it.
Things I didn't realize I would learn about Caldana today.
All
Oh
right.
my
Anyway.
god.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, Caldana, other than that?
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
she's gonna get
I
you
love
right.
the fact that we
I feel
got
like
drunk
there
maybe
was,
yesterday.
and then we had a 3-week break and I forgot.
Okay, fair
All right.
enough.
So your watch proceeds. It is mostly an uneventful one. There's occasionally some people arguing from one of the other camps about this or that, but really nothing seems to pay your group too much mind. We'll go next to
It is. We wrote it down.
I know, it's
Varix and sorry,
Varys
Varys
and
and
Carmen.
Carmen. I said
So,
Varix.
so Varys, you are
Yeah,
awakened.
Mm.
You are awakened for your shift, as is Carmen. The
Mm.
Caldana and Rialta lay down to go to sleep. Carmen stands up to stretch.
Carmen, did it rain?
No, I don't believe so. Why?
Oh my god.
Log is all wet.
Yeah. Oh come
Ugh.
on.
Carmen raises her eyebrows and just goes to
Wow.
sit somewhere else.
All right.
Whatever.
Let's start with a perception check from each of you.
I hope I get low. I don't want to realize what this is. Alright. Perception. Why they gotta put it all the way down in the fucking P's? Alright, here it goes.
As you know, it's perception.
19.
That's good because she rolled a 12. All right. So the night is the shift is yours.
Oh, that's not a snail at all. Alright, I'm moving. Hold on.
Probably for the best. How have your travels been, Sir Varys?
Eventful.
I trust Moon Bay was lovely.
It was.
Hmm.
It was. Well, everything has been overshadowed, to be honest.
It does seem like those kinds of times, doesn't it? Things that we should enjoy, instead everything just has a pall cast over it.
Yeah. We at least have an objective now.
We do.
A chance to make a difference.
I still struggle to imagine that the 5 of you were approached by a goddess and told, save the world, and you all just did it. Fascinating to me.
That, may be an overly generous rendition of the tale.
Perhaps.
Technically, I was arrested when we were first gathering together.
Me too.
True. Rialta was skeptical, as I recalled. Caldana was moody about the entire thing.
What? Caldana?
Shocking, I know. Melody was
Melody.
blissfully naive. In a good way,
Hmm.
but still lacking direction. The closest I think any of us had to a sort of North Star could be Brux, and to be honest, I'm surprised if that's the case, given their understandable aversion to the nature of fate
Wow.
and destiny.
Well, I don't believe that Brux is the only one to not care for fate. It is
Well-
unpleasant to think that you don't have a say in who you are or what you do.
Felt that way for a while now.
Me
We've lost good people, powerful people, people that could shake the world, so to speak. And even most recently, your vaunted 5 heroes would be nothing if not for the intervention of the gods. Literally, as hard as it may seem to believe.
Hmm.
So I don't know, if I'm completely honest, Carmen, if we were chosen or why we were chosen. I just hope that we get this sword to this volcano and it works.
Well, I suppose it is best to stick with simple goals, even if they are not easy goals, and just do that. I often wonder if the people who defeated Scala the first time, obviously the stories are told about Laki and what he did, but there were others, there had to be. Others who stood against her armies, who stood against her wraiths and generals. I wonder often how many things had to come together in just the right way over those 100 years for her to be defeated. If we were able to see the true history of it, if we were able to see the true plan and design that led to her downfall, would we think of it as having been impossible? If those who were there at the start of her reign knew what it took to defeat her, do you think they would have just given up?
Not all of them.
So maybe that is why you were chosen.
Maybe. Maybe because ultimately when the call goes out, some of us can't help but answer it.
She motions towards the people on the far side of the river. You can see it. It's a long ways, but you're able to see in the distance on the far side of the river some small, tiny little pinprick fires of camps that are on the other side. There is no one crossing this river right now, coming this way, coming towards Stone's Throw, that is not intending to fight Scala. Some people, indeed, will stand up to face down even the worst of evils.
True. They have the spirit of knights, if not the title.
Knights have always been an interesting thing, haven't they?
What makes you say that?
People who swear to an oath that they hold above their life, above their mind and reasoning sometimes. What makes a good knight? Does a good knight do something he knows is wrong to fulfill his oath? Or does a good knight break his oath to do what he knows is right?
The history of my order is littered with stories of both, to be honest. You know, my master was the Knight Skald. It was his job to hold on to those stories. He actually posed a very similar question to me. You know,
And what did you say?
at the time, I didn't know, if I'm honest. I was rather stumped. I gave a couple of answers, and every one he was able to counter with the, well, another story that was seemingly different.
Of course.
I was given an answer at one point, but I don't know if I like it or believe it. Someone very close to me gave me the answer, but she was not a knight. So if I am honest, I did not hold to it much at the time. She said that, as far as she could tell, what made a knight is that they either win or they at least persist.
In that a knight is not so much a code or an oath, but a mindset.
Yes, perhaps. Or at the very least stubborn. Which is probably what she was getting at.
I think I like her answer.
Hmm.
I believe that there is no code or set of laws or set of ethics or morals or anything of that nature that can cover every situation and every set of circumstances. I think we all just do the best we can with the information we have at the time. I think a knight is someone who does what he believes is right, even when he's afraid of what it might mean.
I think it's a good answer, if a scary one.
I think a lot of the best answers are often terrifying.
You know, there were knights that joined Scala. We call them traitors, specifically one, especially in my order, but there was more than one. There were knights that joined Scala.
It is said that when Mitra Sylvana became Mortis Sylvana, it is said that there was indeed one knight who led a insurrection in Mitra Sylvana, the Black Badger, I believe they referred to him as.
That was his sigil and his mark.
But he was not the only one. In fact, they are recalled to be 9 traitors of Mitra Sylvana.
Right. He's just perhaps one of the last that still has some sort of moniker. His name is gone. To your point, he was not alone.
No.
There were more than them than there are of me in my order now. I wonder if they did not feel the same.
That they were doing
believed.
what was right.
Exactly. Believed wholeheartedly. I don't think that's the case. But that's the problem sometimes, Carmen. That's the part that I struggle with. I'm not so foolish as to believe that there is one code, one source of truth that covers every situation. But I cannot help but believe that left without something to aspire to, whether it be a symbol or rules or just a belief, that ultimately there will be people that are left behind. I think some people can stand on their own without it, and I don't know if everyone can, and I don't know if I feel right calling those people weak.
I think you are wise beyond your years.
Well, I don't know what to say to that. That's rather kind of you. Didn't I chastise you harshly the first time we met?
Was I
Like
not
mul-
deserving? He smiles. I have done stupid things in my life for no other reason than boredom. And now I am doing what might be the most stupid thing I've ever done in my life for a good reason. What does that make me?
I think if we were to go by your definition, that would make you a knight.
He smiles. Perhaps that is why I choose to define it that way then.
At the very least, Carmen, I will say that the advantage in meeting someone like you was it showed me the other reason that you did what you did. The opportunity to do otherwise had not been granted or paved. You acknowledged you were responsible for your actions. And I can acknowledge that those choices are more complicated than I presented them initially.
Perhaps then that is the true value of the United Allies of Cyrene. It is a path. A road paved for someone to do what we hope is the right thing.
Yes. Varys looks back at the mound of dirt. For now, like you said, we have a simple goal, and that's how I prefer them.
Me too. Simple goals with complex solutions. Name of my life. And so you two continue to talk for a little while longer. It's a nice conversation. Before you go and you awaken Brux
And Falah.
and Falah. No, actually, we're going to go to Melody and to Callie first. Let them have a watch. Melody and Falah and Callie, sorry. Melody and Callie are awakened. Melody, it's pretty much the dead middle of night. It is not the greatest time to be awake. But by now, most of the camps have settled down to bed. Many of the fires have dimmed and gone out. Yours is still crackling a little bit as you're choosing to stay up all night keeping watch. But Callie is awakened, and she is not a morning person, to say the least of it. And she has got a bed head like you would not believe, which is very surprising given that she has neither a pillow nor a mat to sleep on right now.
How the fuck your hair end up like that, girl?
Yeah, she basically yawns, is like, what year is it? As she sits up, but shakes her head out. Oh. And, Melody, make a perception check for me. I'll roll
Oh, boy.
Callie's. Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Cool. That one.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, good. We're getting our stuff stolen.
So, Callie.
I'm gonna inspo that.
All right. You may spell it.
Glad I
better.
buried the sword.
Okay, 21. Nice. So, you settle down next to the campfire, and Callie sits down kind of kitty corner from you. She reaches into her pack and takes out a piece of dried fish, which she starts to then cook over the fire, which you're pretty sure is not going to work very well because fish does not do well when it's already dried and then cooked over the fire, but she doesn't seem to mind.
So,
Mhm.
I have a question.
Oh, yes, Melody.
So you know that really grumpy guy from your shop?
She chuckles at that. Nybris?
Yeah, him.
Yes, I know Nybris quite well.
Are you two?
And she kind of like hesitates and looks around, like,
Are you two holding hands?
Chuckles at that and shakes her head. No, we are not. Nybris and I used to hold hands, as it were. We were together for almost 10 years, actually. But, well, mine is a heart of wanderlust, and his is a heart of home and family. We decided to go our separate ways, although our business was doing well, so he continues to run the shop while I go find the inspiration for the stories.
Why did he stay?
Why did he stay in Minas Grove?
No, with you. I mean, you said you guys were separated.
Not everybody who separates does so on terrible terms. We recognized after 10 years of being married that, well, it was not that we disliked each other's company, it's that we could not be for the other what the other needed. And so I decided that it would be best that he could find someone who could be that for him, just as he decided I would be happiest if I could travel when I wished. So we quietly divorced, and he is now married. He has 2 kids of his own, and I travel as I wish.
Oh. And you're happy?
She smiles at that. This world has so much to see, more than I could have ever imagined. And that's just Terrasen. There are other continents out there. Mitra Glorianda has not been seen in centuries. What could that be like to see? What must their pantheon be like? There are so many things I would love to see in this world, and I could never be happy in one city, just living out my life.
And Melody kind of like stokes at the fire, absentmindedly strumming on Dragon Song. Before she speaks up again and goes,
Do you still think the world has beauty to offer?
She looks out at the sundered blue, way off in the distance. Looks up at the sky, at the stars in the sky, and she nods. I think that too often we see the bad in this world because it is right in front of us. It stands out in stark contrast to the beauty, and it sticks with us. We see horrifying things, and they stand out because of all the beautiful things that it stands among. And we start to think that maybe that's all there is. Maybe all that these beautiful things do is cover up these dark and terrible truths. But that's not true. This world has so much to offer. This world has so many wonderful people. So many, I look around now, those who are willing to stand against the dread demon of despair. And who knows what lies beyond this? It is said the gnomes of the Clockwork Village, it is said they come from a different world altogether. What must that be like to see? The men and women of Mitras and Terran who have learned to change their bodies and augment them. The Uruk, both in the Viper's Eye Desert and way up on Sunlok. Completely different people, despite their similar backgrounds. This world has so much beauty in it. So many wonderful things to see. So many people to meet. Scala believes that the world's truth is despair. That it will always return to hatred and intolerance and despair. And she misses the forest for the trees. The point isn't that the world always returns to despair. It's that the world always rises up again to fight despair.
Are you sure you're not from Farhome?
I've never been to Farhome, to my knowledge. Perhaps I have been.
and Melody kind of like smiles at that and she goes,
Well, that's pretty close, if not the lesson that we all learned in Farhome. Is that the world is a beautiful place, and it just needs a little help healing, because sometimes there are cracks and sometimes there are chasms. I don't know what chasms are, but I think they're really big cracks. So, and you know, it's our job to help the world heal, and it's not in the way that we have to go out and be super cool heroes and stuff, because, well, there's plenty of people for that. And if we start getting heroes, then Farham kind of starts to get, it defeats the purpose of not being able to find it.
Yeah.
But But yeah, the, the way we help is through the little things. If it's a song to soothe the heart, or a warm meal,
Hmm.
or clothes that feel nice, or bright and shiny stuff that get molded into, well, stuff like this. And she kind of like points at the half of the links on her around her horns.
I think most people, vast majority of people, will never get the chance to be heroes. They'll never get to fight a dread demon, or rescue a city on the verge of collapse, or any of the things that I've seen you people do in the last few months. But everyone has the chance to do a kindness for someone else. Everyone has the chance to make someone else's life a little bit better. And to that end, I believe what the Ivory Dragonborn talk about, I believe it is a great message. But it's also worth remembering, Melody, you have been chosen to do something heroic.
I know. And honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm not worthy of being chosen, especially with who I'm with. I mean, Rivera's comes from a really old order that fought Scala before. Rialda is really smart, and she knows how to, well, make people feel nice. And she has a really nice set of journals and stuff, and she's very she's very thorough. And Caldana, despite the fact that not knowing who you were can be a really scary thing, and despite all of these things that people have said about her and her people, she's still here and still fighting.
Yeah?
And Brooks, when we first met, Brooks didn't really talk much, but now I see that Brooks isn't just a strong person who knows how to fight. I see someone who has love for a family that, well, have been scattered to the winds, really. But she still loves them nonetheless. Still a good mother. And she kind of reminds me of my mom's. Just a little bit. But, yeah.
Well,
And then there's me. I just think stuff. It's hard sometimes not to feel like I could be doing more.
Well, I think if you caught everyone that we travel with in an honest moment, maybe a couple drinks in, I think they would all tell you exactly the same thing about themselves. I don't think anybody really believes they're doing enough, or that they believe they have everything together. I think all of us are just trying to keep everything on the track until we get to bed every night. Just doing our best. I mean, look at me. Half the time I end up in prison.
Yeah, how does that keep happening to you?
I've been told that occasionally I make rash, impulsive decisions.
You're deciding you want a rash?
Something like that. Yes. Well,
I don't.
yeah. But
Well, I think it's wonderful that you have the spirit of an adventurer. A bit. Yeah, I can agree on impulsive, but impulsive doesn't have to be a bad thing.
I agree. Strongly. But, you two continue to talk for a little while. And fortunately, there is not a whole lot that happens as you go to get the next people up for their watch. Cerberus, you are awakened for your watch.
Okay.
As you sit up, you see that indeed most people have gone to bed by this point. Remember now that you are decided you were going to take the last watch solo. It'll be morning before too much longer anyway, so you just go to the remnants of the fire. It's mostly quiet now. Everyone else, there's not really anyone else awake. Most have gone to bed. And so you watch. And from the south, you can hear a noise. It is coming from the God's Grasp forest. You are familiar with most noises in the God's Grasp forest. You've always heard them. You've lived there for almost the entirety of your life. But this is not a noise that you're used to hearing in the God's Grasp forest. It is the screaming of a baby. The absolute wailing of an infant.
Sounds a lot like guilt. All right. Do I have my armor on?
Did you sleep in your armor?
I don't remember going to sleep in my armor, but I also don't remember the last watch part. So I'm wondering if in my sleep I put it on.
I was gonna say that was very much not.
No.
Well,
I'm
we had
pretty.
listed.
I think Varys right now is very confident that he agreed to take the last watch. If I'm picking up what's being put down. Yeah,
course
that's
you
what I
did.
thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have my armor on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Are
no,
my-
you do not currently have your armor on.
Do I are my weapons in my tent? Do I see them there?
Yep. Your weapons are in your
Oh,
tent, just
okay,
as you
good.
left them.
Phew.
Everything is
All
as
right.
you left it.
Great. I'm gonna grab my shield and sword. I don't really have time for anything else.
Yep.
And I'm gonna run towards the crying.
Make your way towards the crying, and as you start to get closer to the forest's edge, the crying is somewhat distorted, not in a warped kind of way, almost like it's behind something, as if something's blocking it, but you can still kind of hear through it. You continue into the forest.
Yes, absolutely.
You make your way.
My senses are sharp. I'm looking for what's hurting this kid,
Absolutely.
or what box it's been put in.
You are making your way around, and you enter into the forest. It is a quiet night in the forest. You don't hear lots of creatures like you would expect, but there are some. And as you enter into a clearing, this clearing does look very familiar. You've been there once before, a very, very long time ago. And you can hear the infant's wailing. And you realize that it is not that the infant is behind something, but rather under something. There is a patch of recently tilled earth near you. You can hear the crying emanating from inside.
Okay. I am going to succumb to my massive guilt and pathos. I'm gonna throw my weapon and swords down. Well, first I'll take like 2 seconds at most to glance around and see if there's anything better than my hands to dig with.
There's a rock you could use.
All right, I'll grab the rock as a sort of trowel. I cast my weapon and shield aside, and I start frantically digging into the dirt.
And you do.
I mean, I'm
you're
trying
in-
to be careful enough that I don't slam this
Right.
rock into this baby. But
So-
yeah, other
yeah.
than that,
So you start to dig, and you don't have to dig very far before you find the coffin. A small coffin about the size of 2-week-old. Very small.
oh
just
man,
Just the
what
size
a
of a
precise number.
just the size of a young Dia Annadweir child. But you can hear the wailing from inside this coffin continuing.
I bet. I'm gonna wrench the box out of the ground.
Hmm?
Bloody fingers.
The box is heavy. Like, so heavy. It's like and it's weird. It's not even that the box is heavy. It's almost like your shoulders are having trouble lifting up, as if you are
Gotcha.
being held to the ground.
Huh.
Go ahead and make a strength check
yes,
for me.
I'm gonna put my back into it, as All Might would say, and pull this bad. Well, I'm gonna pull this undead baby out the ground. All right, that's a saving throw. I need just a strength check. Here we go.
Yeah, just pulling the weight of your sins out, you know.
Yeah. Ooh, that's bad. 6 total.
You struggle for a moment trying to pull this box up, and you aren't able to. This force, it's holding you back, and the
Gotcha.
infant's cries start to weaken.
Okay. I'm not going to try to lift the whole box out anymore. Instead, I'm going to scrape my fingers and my nails across this thing. I'm going to
Okay.
try to find the lid to just pry the lid off as fast as I can.
That you are able to do. And you
I
do.
Wrench
Your
the
hand-
lid
no, no,
off.
You wrench the lid on, your fingers bleeding at this point as
Yeah.
you do. And
I hope it doesn't
inside,
hit all of the regret behind me.
inside the box, you see an infant child with a shock of hair the same color as yours.
Oh, man.
It's been dead for a long, long while. And as you look at it, you suddenly feel a hard smack across your face. And as you snap back, this theme.
Oh, damn it. I just figured out what
As
I
you
dug
snap
up.
back, you are sitting around the campfire, and Brux is holding you to the ground. Falah has just punched you across the face, and indeed, you are leaning over the box with Sanguine Moon inside of it. The box now open, and Sanguine Moon is cackling in your ears.
Crafty motherfucker.
How did he open it when it's chained shut with 2 locks?
His hands are bleeding.
I slid it. I don't know. That's a great question. All right. So
Movie magic.
Yeah.
Falah kind of glares at you. Don't listen to the sword.
I'm gonna back away a little bit, like push from it.
As soon as you push up, Falah slams it back shut.
Who has the keys? The keys to the. We have to lock the.
Indeed. The lock, one of them has been wrenched clean through. Apparently, the sword, Cerberus, granted you a measure of strength to help you free it. That's why it took 2 full-grown Uruk to hold you down.
He's just gonna sit on his knees for a while and look at it.
Blah, as she gets it shut again, she just kind of takes a big cloth and sets it over there and just literally sits on it.
Get down in front of Varys, finger snap in front of his eyes. Focus, focus.
Yes, right. Yes.
Are you?
No.
Hey.
I'm here. I'm fine. I didn't even... It was deceptive. More deceptive, I think, than I thought it would be.
Blah kind of grunts at that and nods. It can do a lot of different things to try and get you to use it.
In this case, I thought I was saving it.
She seems to give like a nod of understanding as if she's been there. First night I had the sword, I dreamt that I was watching someone kill my brother. And the sword was right there to pick up and save them.
It pulls on what we're most vulnerable at.
Yeah. Steal your mind,
And-
Sir Varys.
Hand
Yes.
Varys, some water. We knew this wouldn't be easy.
Of course. I'll be fine. Just a moment.
You're able to take a couple moments to
Cerberus
rejuvenate.
is going to wander to the edge of camp
Mhm.
and look for where people were chopping firewood.
Yeah. There's an area where there are some smaller trees. Most people here aren't like trying to cut at the God's Grass Forest itself. That would be
Yeah, that'd be bad.
yeah. Most people don't do that. But
But
yes.
are there logs that are set out for people to
Yeah.
split?
Yep, there's a number that could be split.
I'm gonna grab a hatchet and start splitting logs like they're Scala's head.
Seems reasonable. So with I would say and you can correct me if I'm wrong, with a fair bit of anger,
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
you spend some time splitting logs, and the entire time that you do, the sword praises you and just tells you that you actually would probably be quite good at wielding it if it was honest. But
I'll stop after a while then,
Mhm.
and just take the axe and sort of heft it.
the rest of the watch passes relatively uneventfully, though I will give some time now for Falah and Brox, 'cause I assume you two want to talk. As Sir Varys,
Yeah,
after the
seems likely.
after the kind of startling moment of Sir Varys getting up and going to dig up Sanguine Moon without a word, he goes over to split wood for a while, as Falah now just sits effectively on top of Sanguine Moon and keeps it buried down there. She is otherwise very quiet.
I'll let a little bit of time pass before I just sort of look over at her. Saria told me what you did. And with this now, I'm putting some pieces together.
She... Make a persuasion check for me.
$15.
All right, that'd be enough. She nods. seeming to consider her words carefully. Saria was weak. And one night it was getting really bad, and I was worried that Father was going to kill her. There was a dagger on the table. Buried it in his liver.
Just sort of nod.
Not sorry.
You shouldn't be. Everything should have gone differently.
Yeah, it probably should have. So, what? You went to, Moon Bay? Stone's Throw? Obviously not Stone's Throw.
Many places. I have traveled most of Terracin at this point.
Find what you're looking for?
In a way, not until just these past few days. Give her the smallest bit of a smile.
Yeah. She seems very conflicted. She doesn't say anything else for the watch.
After a minute or two, I will sort of speak up. One thing I have found in my travels is that there are different kinds of strength, though. Your sister is strong, just different from the way we are.
She'll have to be. And with that, the rest of the watch passes quite uneventfully. As the sun rises, you notice some of the other camps are packing up. Others choosing not to. Evidently, they are not anticipating being able to cross the bridge today. Many are holding some short prayers this morning in honor of the Vigil of the Lost. And indeed, this morning is the morning of Floria the 40th. It is the end of spring. There are only 5 more days before the new year, which means that it is the second day of the Vigil of the Lost, an annual week-long holiday held to honor those lost during Scala's reign. But now that holiday has been extended out to honoring family members or friends that you've lost throughout the year, anything you would consider loss in the year. So as you wake up this morning, you see some setting up small little shrines to offer their prayers for those that they've lost this year. But
can Melody walk over to that shrine?
yeah, I mean, there's just some of the other camps have just set up little like makeshift shrines with stone. But yeah, you're welcome.
Oh,
to,
okay. Okay.
I'm sure
in
if you
that
told
case,
them you wanted to go pray for them, that they would allow you use of their shrine.
Oh, well, if it's like if everyone's making like their own shrines, like
Yeah.
Melody's gonna make one for the camp.
It's easy enough. You use some of the
Yeah.
leftover firewood and some stones to create a small little shrine with an offering plate on it.
Will assist.
Yeah.
Would this be something that was done in the mountains?
The Vigil of the Lost has been celebrated since the fall of Scala, so I would say yes. Probably even your people, when they originally left and went to the mountains, probably took that tradition with them. You would probably have context for what the Vigil of the Lost is.
Aldana's looking pretty guilty.
Rails looks rather thoughtful as she kind of quietly also helps build the shrine for the group. Seems a little in her head.
Did the Onrado have a symbol?
Did Onrado Tsuki have a symbol?
Yeah.
She did. Oh, what was it though? Oh God, she did. I'll just have to use her symbol. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head.
Yeah. She's gonna just try her best to
It's a hearth.
a hearth. Okay.
A hearth, yeah.
Yeah. So she's gonna try her best to like mimic the symbol
Mhm.
as best she can, and put that on the shrine, and just bow her
Beautiful.
head for a few moments.
Beautiful.
Or, well, at least, like, she'll secure it so, like, it doesn't fly off into the fucking wind.
I will say you are also not alone. There are many who are keeping the now passed Onrado in their prayers this year for the Vigil of the Lost.
Yep.
But you're able to say your prayers, and you just leave the shrine. Whoever camps here next may have use of it. And you make your way to the bridge. Many are having to wait. You're told, actually, as you reach the bridge, that the estimated wait to cross the bridge is 3 days right now, as there are a great many people crossing, and everyone has to have their paperwork checked out, given the state of what's going on.
Wait,
This
I
is the
thought
2-day
this was
bridge.
the 2-day bridge.
Exactly. What the hell?
It
Yeah,
was made in 2 days.
it was originally built in 2 days, and they explain that to you. They tell you the whole story.
We had this joke in week 1.
Listen,
But
Hideyoshi made a castle in one
One
he
day.
did. That's
so they
true.
can let us cross, I think.
Yeah. You are, however, able to show your permissions from the United
My mom
Allies
signed
of
my
Serene.
permission slip. Can we-
Basically. It turns out Martine Sunvale's signature and symbol are still good enough to get you across the bridge, and you are permitted access to cross.
It's Martine, not
Still,
Martin.
as opposed to what?
Well, technically, there's no.
There is no Lockheed's
he's not,
Inquisition. He has no power
in theory,
right
in charge of anything.
now. Yeah. He technically has no
Does-
authority.
Well, what about the United?
He is
We didn't
helping
elect
and
him.
working them, but he does not have any authority with them
I
either.
didn't vote for him. I had a write-in vote.
Also,
That-
that's a new thing.
As you were,
Yeah.
as you were leaving, he was like they were still trying to figure out like what the leadership of that is going to look like.
Yeah.
But
The Freedom Caucus is holding up
yeah, is holding up everything.
elections for the
Yeah. Unfortunately, you got to get 50% of the vote, and
it's
no one's
just-
able to get there.
And I'm going for Hakeem every time. I don't know what to
And-
tell you.
Well, that's the problem. Jesse Silver's also cast her name in there now, and she's getting
Right.
a lot of votes.
There's write-ins. Barney the dinosaur. We don't even know
That's
who that
brutal.
is. He was in there.
But over the day, you are able to make your way towards Lockheed's Landing. You reach the road that breaks towards South Cross, eventually going back to Mina's Grove. And as you reach this this crossing, that is where Callie kind of stops and smiles at the group as she has her pack and nods. Well, I suppose this is where we part ways for now.
I
Be
suppose
safe.
So.
I heard from the fortune teller back there that you're all going to find out a secret really soon, and I would very much appreciate it if you would write me and tell me what that secret is so that I can put it in my next book. She has a big smile on her face, a big hopeful smile.
Very, very well. I suppose we can find a way to get a
just-
letter.
Be careful, don't get arrested, and we might tell you.
Yeah.
That's true too.
I will
Yeah.
do my best.
Because
Oh,
if
and
you're
if you-
arrested, we can't get you a letter.
That's true.
Mhm. Oh, and if you ever go back to Naira, say Say hi to him and his family for me.
I will deliver the message to Nybris when I see him. Hopefully, I should be able to get into town by tomorrow, I think. So hopefully that'll be, I'll be able to see him. Hopefully the store hasn't burned down in my absence. Not
Oh,
again.
He does wait, what?
Hmm?
Wait,
What?
so you get locked up and occasionally he burns down your store?
It only happened the one time, and he insists it wasn't his fault.
I see.
I mean,
Well,
Bookstore at that.
Indeed.
Fortunes come to your books then.
Just
Well,
stay
fingers
out
crossed.
of prison, ask people before you go into any buildings,
Mhm.
and tell them what you're trying to write about, and they'll probably let you in.
I will. I'll do my best. After all,
No, you have to do one above that, Callie, because you've been doing your best, and we've seen how that's paid out, okay? Cerberus didn't get all of his meditative sleep. He's mildly irritable.
Yeah.
Rialta takes one of her rip-out journals that she has, and she writes, Step 1, ask permission. Step 2, explain intent. Step 3, accept the no if there is a no. And she will hand it to Callie.
Meanwhile, Brooks will just, like, sort of...
This won't stop me
Pat on
because
the-
I can't read.
You'll have thought.
Brooks will come up and, like, pat on the back / grab around the shoulders and just pull Varys away, like, come on, buddy.
She nods. Well, until next we meet, I look forward to sending you any new information that I learn. After all, I am Callie Page, the world's foremost authority on gods and goddesses, and now demons as well. So I will send you whatever information I can and whatever help I can.
Right.
Aldana just kind of gives her a look like, are you now?
I am indeed, and she bows her head politely before she starts off down the path to the south.
Caldana gives her a smirk that says, I know something you don't.
You may indeed.
Yeah, you know what demons taste like.
I would say, oh my. I would say a lot of things that she doesn't know you now know.
I didn't do it. You can't be mad at me.
I'm just writing what I say to my
Words.
sending stone.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you're ready for it.
Yeah,
you
you
don't
can
need to do it
Before
now.
and after.
Yeah.
You can,
Well, I
send
put it.
it.
Oh, I put it in the
oh,
chat.
it's in chat, okay.
Fold, fail, fold, fail, fold, fail.
All right, so good morning. Crossed two-day bridge, met interesting fortune teller, thinking about fortune. Perhaps I'll explain later. Heading to Lockheed's Landing. Remember to eat, please.
Fold, fail, fold, fail.
With the way that Rialta's going, I don't know how fast this is gonna go.
There is a message that comes back about, a minute later.
Oh wow, that's fast. How does he count all those words so fast? Took me 10.
Well, as you hear
I
it,
think
you get the sense he
just-
may
he
have
just talks.
rehearsed.
He just talks until it breaks.
Because he replied, I found an azurite yesterday. It is said to represent inner strength and balanced emotions. It made me think of you. Hope all is well.
Aww.
Nerds.
There's some 4-year-old in the background that's like, lame! And we're all
No,
like, hey, come on,
It's
come on,
just,
kid.
it's just, yeah,
Don't
it's
be a
just
loser.
Yuki going, "You're a nerd.
It would be Yuki.
You're a big nerd."
Why don't you guys kiss already? Ew!
But yeah,
SCNDING.
Rialta just nods at that and
Is
thinks
this
her
a
just is like,
kissing
it is
book?
also blue.
Yeah, is this your kissing book? You write all the people you want to kiss in it?
so
Who's this kid? Get this kid out of here.
you are, after bidding farewell to Callie, you are able to continue on towards Lockheed's Landing. Sitting on the southern end of the Sundered Blue is Lockheed's Landing, the second largest city on Terraston and considered by many to be the grandest. It is often called the Jewel of the Sundered Blue. Originally, it was no more than a shrine constructed at the very spot where Lockheed touched down after she defeated Scala. However, in the modern era, it is a massive city surrounded by a fortified stone wall. The city itself is divided into a number of districts and ways. Actually, just let me bring this all over to the map. Why not?
That'd be good.
Yeah,
Let's see
use it.
Yeah, do it. Hey.
Do it.
Do it.
Just
Do
do it.
Just do it, Anakin. That movie would not have done as well if that's how Palpatine talked.
I would agree with you.
Just
All
do
right.
it.
Welcome
Hey.
everybody to the city of Lockheed's Landing. The city itself is
Beautiful.
divided into a number of districts and ways. The castle district holds the city's keep, which is more of a military fortification than a place of rule, as Lockheed's Landing, like all cities on Terrasen, swears obeisance to stone's throw. Just above the castle district is the Artist's Way, home to a theater that overlooks the Sundered Blue and a number of art galleries. Also here are a series of noble homes that are regarded as being the single most expensive places to live on Terrasen. Across the river is the Temple of Lockheed, which has grown indeed from the small shrine it once was. In the center of the city lies the residential district, and beneath that the grand markets known as the Merchant's Way. On the western side of the city is the stadium, affectionately known as Gesheron's Temple, and above that is Pilgrim's End, the tiefling haven of Lockheed's Landing. The mood as you enter the city is one of restrained excitement. Being the 40th day of Floria and the second day of the Vigil of the Lost, a week-long period of mourning, things are very calm. People are trying not to be too celebratory at the moment. However, the Vigil of the Lost is concluded on Salia the first day of the new year and the day that celebrates the end of Scala's reign, aptly named Reignover. So while people are respectfully mourning those lost, both during Scala's reign and also those they lost over the year, you can also see that there are lots of preparations being made for what must be a massive festival at some point.
What's like the popular food for Reignover? Like, what's the big
I would
like,
say
dish?
festival food. Fair
Yeah.
food is very
fried
common.
stuff?
Fried
Honeyed
things-
ham! Let's
Like-
fucking go!
Yeah,
No,
like,
this is clearly our anime festival moment. I'm gonna wear a yukata and get takoyaki.
I mean, that
that's
is
my plan.
effectively what Reignover is in this city.
So that's
It is like the biggest celebration of the year. So,
finally.
but you all enter Lockheed's Landing from the south. You actually originally tried to enter on the eastern side, but
Take
you
my
were
bait, no
told that you are all dirty peasants and you are not allowed to enter on that door.
Is that how they said it though?
Effectively, they might have said it a little bit more kindly than that, but that's basically what they said.
I don't like
Reverse.
the cut of your jib.
Yeah, Severus is a little irritated because he didn't get a lot of sleep, but
That would
Um,
have also flown over Melody's head if they used like a lot of fancy and eloquent words.
which is crazy because she is very tall.
They basically just said
Alright.
that you're
Yeah.
only allowed to enter in through that gate if you own a home in the area, and well,
Well, maybe I told them they're gonna. Never mind. Nope.
yeah,
Melody would have straight up just gone like, oh,
I don't live here.
yeah. Then they would tell you to get lost. So instead, you make your way around the castle district towards the south entrance, where anyone is allowed to enter,
Rude.
and that is how you enter in.
Can I mention this is actually pretty important? I think so. I just want to point it out. I like the placement of that castle. I feel like it was very intentionally placed on the map.
I would
And
say it was, yes.
I think it was well thought out from what I'm seeing.
I'm glad you approve,
I do approve. It was good, well thought out from an
especially
architectural
since you helped me
standpoint.
figure out where to put it.
Yeah, you goddamn right. Good placement.
Yes, you have entered into Lockheed's Landing. The city is yours. Where would you
But
like to go?
not that one fucking gate.
No, not that gate.
Are we
it
allowed to
is-
exit that gate or only go through it?
You can't enter or exit out that gate.
That
Oh, boo.
is racist. Okay.
They, as you've arrived, it's been about a day of travel. It's probably like 4:30. It's in the afternoon, late afternoon.
Bedtime.
Where would you like to go in Lockheed's Landing?
Where was that place that Meredith, Madam Meredith, told us? The Last Gasp.
The
Where would
Last
that
Gas
be
Bar.
located?
That is up
Huh?
here.
Last Gas
Right
Bar.
next to the Broken Line Inn.
Okay.
Is that where you wish to go?
If I ask around, would they
Oh, yeah.
would people point me to? Okay.
Oh yeah, people know where you're talking about. They tell you it's up to the north in the Harbor District.
Okay.
Oh, do you want us to
And-
get rooms now?
Well, we may as well so we can store things.
That's
That's a
entirely
Good
fair.
first step.
Yep, you are told that there are 3 potential inns to stay at here. The Broken Line is up and attached to the Last Gasp. You are told there is a inn called Under the Castle Wall, which is nearby in the Merchant's Way, although it's kind of a military place, mostly serving soldiers. And then there's the Golden Carriage up in the Artist's Way, which is if you are looking to spend a little bit of extra coin for a somewhat upscale evening.
Which we are
That's-
not right now.
No, I think
That's
I think-
also nearest the gate that fucking Scorn does, so it's like
Yeah, we're not sleeping under the racist gate. Let's and yes, Cerberus keeps calling it racist,
Yeah.
even though it's classist.
Absolutely, I love it.
To be fair, I assume they didn't react well to Caldana.
That's probably true.
You know, they didn't seem to react any differently to you.
Oh,
What about
we were all
you?
You're-
we
What
were
about
all
all-
together.
You're
How
all equally
progressive of them.
poor. Yeah,
Yes,
you're all,
they hate
yeah,
the
it's like-
poor
You're all
equally.
equally poor.
You're all equally peasants.
That's
Wow.
kind of a pleasant
Yay.
surprise for her after Stone's Throw.
Well,
Yes.
I think you mean a
Varys.
peasant surprise.
Oh, all right. Varys' mood is fixed.
So, the broken line then, and the last gasp.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
we
Okay.
want to see the comedy bits, and I feel like the midway place probably's got an open mic night.
All right. So, nestled between the Harbor District and the Temple of Laki are two buildings that appear to be of similar build and have a small wooden hallway attaching them. Both buildings are made from pine, likely from the Serra Forest to the south. The placard on the northern building has a fish with a snapped line, and the south building has one featuring a weary knight barely clinging to their sword as they stand against some oncoming foe. Which are you entering into, the broken line or the last gasp bar?
Well, I think we want to get our rooms first. Is that?
Wait, the broken line's the cheap ass one though, right?
I thought
They're
the
well, one of them
same.
is literally a bar, and one of them is an inn.
They're connected.
They're just connected buildings.
Oh,
but they're
well,
actually
yeah, we'll go to the inn. We
The
gotta.
inn, yeah.
Yeah.
I
get
gotta find a
rooms,
door to
store
put
our
this.
things.
I need to put this fucking evil ass sword under a bed or something.
All right,
Yeah.
got it.
It's probably jumping around right now, trying to possess people.
We'll make sure that we
Doing
get
some
wiggling
rooms.
its fingers at us.
We'll make sure we get like rooms across like a whole hall. And
Yeah.
Do they
the
have a
rooms, like,
room
in
above a
between us.
church,
So-
maybe? Or
Yeah, seriously.
Well, you are actually. This building is very close to the Temple of Laki.
oh, that's fantastic.
It's like the
I would
temple, like
like-
you're here, and the Temple of Laki is right there.
Yeah, Cerberus is straight up gonna ask him, "Do you have a room close to the temple? I'm
Yeah.
really big on prayer.
So inside the
He's gonna say it like that.
Facing window.
I need a temple-facing window. I need to mecha the hell out of this because this thing is evil. Okay?
Inside the broken line, there is a warm atmosphere, one that feels like a respite against the harsh outdoors. To your left, there's a roaring fire in the fireplace, pops and crackles of wood filling the room. Large furs adorn the wall, and the seating in the area is likewise made from bones and furs of mountain animals. There is a simple desk with a young tiefling man behind it. He has deep blue hair and his horns curve outwardly. Through the hallway to your right, you can see towards the last gasp, and you can hear music and kind of quiet mumblings. It's not a very raucous atmosphere, but it is quiet. But the young man looks up. He looks to be maybe about, 14 or, yeah, probably like 14 or 15.
He's
He's pretty young.
14 with blue hair in the festival land. This is an anime protagonist, everybody. Watch out.
We met
So
the main character.
I asked this
We
fully
met-
expecting the answer to be no, but given my history with tiefling bartenders,
Oh,
do I
good
know
question.
this one?
This guy got a crystal in his head, or did she take this one too?
He does have a Tear of the Goddess.
Whew!
I would say.
Does he look
you
like
don't-
his mom or dad was maybe killed by a friend of ours when they were less cool?
You don't recognize him, I would say.
Okay, that's good.
But
Caldana, that's stereotyping.
Yeah, you just think you've ruined every tiefling bartender's life.
I might have.
You're like the gate.
but he nods. Hello, my name is Kalash. Can I help
Kalash, huh? Probably like Kalash Yukimura or some shit. I know. I know how this
hello.
you?
goes.
Do you
we are-
do you say that to him?
No,
Okay,
I
just
wouldn't know
checking.
that name.
Okay, just checking.
Why is he really angry at the Yukimuras? He's really
I
against.
don't know. But he might correct you. I don't know.
What if
all
I
right.
got it right?
We're hoping for some rooms.
Oh
Yes.
yes, of course. Welcome to the Broken Line. How
Thank you.
many rooms did you need?
Well, how many do you have to spare?
Well, at the moment, we're doing all right. Rainover's coming up, so of course there's some reservations for later this week. But right now we have a number available.
Maybe we should do. How many do we have with us? Carmen's still with us, right?
Carmen is
One,
with you and Falah is with you.
3,
So
4, 5, 6, so
seven.
7 total.
All right.
And we'll need at least
At
how
least
many
3.
people can fit? Yeah, how many people can fit to a room?
I
Good
would say
blue-haired sir.
if you are willing to share a bed, they could each fit 4. If everyone prefers their own bed, 2.
We'll do 2 to a room. We want at least 2 to a room for Varys sort of nods at the package on his back to nobody. Just
4
in
rooms then.
case. Yeah, 4 rooms, and preferably if one of them is as close to the temple as possible, or maybe has an excellent view of the temple. Sir Varys has translated this joke into something he's definitely doing now.
I will say Kalash does not look surprised at that request.
Great.
The Temple of Lockheed is one of the largest landmarks of the city, a popular tourist thing, so people
Hell
do
yeah.
often want to be able to see it. And he
Yep.
nods. Well, I won't have the rooms available for Rainover, but if you are planning to be gone by then,
We are.
I have 4 rooms on the top floor that do actually have a view of the Temple of Lockheed.
All right, so above the stables. Yes, that would be just fine.
Blake's like above the stables. No, the stables are out back.
Your second floor is out back.
Don't mind him.
He's
Oh,
when
stupid.
we say staples, he means the rooms.
He's
He gets-
gifted.
Oh.
He mixes his words sometimes.
I
Oh.
see.
Right. Yes. I guess I don't know the local dialect, but yes, those rooms will do fine.
Excellent. I'll get you the keys. Our rate is is half a gold per night. So what would that be in silver? I can't remember.
It'll be 5 silver.
So our rate is 5 silver per night per room.
Well, we'll let Miss Moneybags take care of that.
Half a gold per room per night. So that's going to be 2 gold
Per night.
Okay.
Correct.
How many nights are we staying here, guys?
Well, we're saying just the one, right? Because we're leaving tomorrow, aren't we? Or no?
Oh, where are you journeying to?
I thought that's
Lucky's
what we
Rest.
Ah, that is a
Lucky's
popular
Rest, yeah.
destination during the Vigil of the Lost, after all.
All right. 2
Yeah.
gold. Here you go.
All right, you paid 2 gold, and he.
What if we have any surcharges, like if we get like room service or like
if
a
if you,
video?
we do.
Yeah, don't turn the TV on.
I don't know what those things are. But if you would like food brought up to your room, we would charge you for it, but I could do that. If you'd prefer, though, of course, the bar is open.
Well, that's good.
My father runs it, so
Mhm.
yes,
Your father.
indeed.
Does your father have any historical enemies, perhaps?
Not that I'm aware of, good sir.
That's good. That's good. Gotta be careful. Well, I can
Have I
take
done something
everyone.
wrong?
No, please.
No,
Apologies.
no. I think very
Again,
soon you'll
don't
realize you've done
mind
something
him.
right. When the fates align and you're chosen.
Anyway, let's go to our rooms.
All right.
You are each you're given 4 keys up to your rooms, and he looks at you. Will you be coming down for dinner then afterwards?
I suppose
likely,
so.
we
We
were-
don't really have anything else to do first.
I will ensure that there is a table prepared for you next door.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you guys do desserts?
We do actually. Nymira makes some excellent desserts. Our mother's recipe.
I'd be honored.
Excellent. I will.
To eat them.
I will ensure that
Be
the.
honored to
I will-
shove your cake in my mouth.
I will
What?
inform the kitchen to have desserts prepared.
Caldana, don't get excited. I'm not talking about that kind of cake.
Cake by the ocean.
So you go up to the third
yes.
floor, and the third floor, outside the back windows, there are trees. Not like a forest or anything, but a small grove of trees that separate this kind of section of the city from where the Temple of Lockheed is. However, they're not very tall, and on the third floor, you are able to see over the top of them and see at least the roof and some of the stained glass windows of the Temple of Lockheed. For those of you who have never been to Lockheed's Landing, you have never seen a temple like this. You have been in Moon Bay and seen the Temple of the Onrado, which is incredible. You've been in Stone's Throw and seen some of the incredible temples there. Never have you seen one like this, just in sheer size. It is a couple city blocks in size. It is massive, and has clearly grown since the time of it being a small little shrine to where she originally touched down. But you are able to see the beautiful blue roof of the temple and the stained glass windows from a distance.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Explosion.
unload. Put this this chained up box with its one good lock under my bed.
How shall we, Varys? Who will be with you while you're?
I'll leave that all up to you. Who?
I will very quietly ask Flaw if she would want to room with me to speak more.
Make a persuasion check.
That one's a 7.
Well, I rolled a 6, so congratulations.
Oh,
Well, we
dear.
got a couple of negotiators going at it over.
You want to talk?
She's
You
a
want to
rogue.
talk?
I guess.
She's a rogue. She is not a charisma rogue.
Just love that how that conversation must have gone. We could like
It's not
talk,
really,
I guess.
It's not
Yeah.
really something in our family.
No, clearly.
She glances at you and seems to think about it for a long moment. There, again, is a lot of... Make an insight check.
Macking my lips on this microphone. I just realized. Sorry.
That's an 11.
Hell yeah.
She seems very conflicted, as if she wants to say yes, but some part of her also very much wants to say no. But finally, she gives a little nod. Fine.
Severus looks. I need a roommate who can really punch me in the face if need be.
Carmen puts her hand up really, really fast.
Great, thanks, Carmen.
Kari, you're muted.
I don't know when I muted myself. I'm gonna say Caldana puts her hand up about as fast.
I mean, we can do 3 to a room.
No, I don't need both of them punching me in the face. Thank you very much.
All right.
But I,
Rock,
Varys
paper,
isn't-
scissors, then.
Varys doesn't want to get double fisted tonight?
yeah, not tonight. That's a different. That's that's gonna be a light eating night when that happens.
different quest.
Different quest, yeah. Gonna fast for a day or so just to make
How
sure.
about one of you goes with Varys and one of you goes with me, the keeper of the keys?
Makes sense. Caldana, Severus thinks right. If you'd be willing.
Carmen
Punch
nods.
in the face again.
Carmen nods. I'll go
Yes.
with you, Rialto.
Good.
Very well, then. So, you're able to get your stuff squared away and then make your way downstairs to go through to the last gasp.
I'm gonna put on my dinner jacket.
The last gasp is a large open floor space with booths lining the walls and a number of tables through the middle. There's a stage on the west wall, and 3 tieflings are dancing on it, while a human and dwarven man play the drums and the pan flute for them.
Open mic
Caldana, depending on how much of your memory has returned, so I'll leave this up to you, you might recognize the dancing style as one common of the mountain tieflings when honoring their fallen. This looks to be a dance to honor those who have passed for the Vigil of the Lost.
It's called the Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah. The bar in here runs the length of the south wall, and behind it is a tall tiefling man with black hair and horns that curve outwards. He's filling drinks and loading them onto trays of the waitresses, who are then hurrying them out the door. But as you enter, he looks up and nods, and he just points over to a table that is empty, has been emptied for the 7 of you. It's a large table.
Go to the table.
All right, we'll sit down.
Caldana, make a
Indeed.
perception check for me.
Ooh, do not miss the
boy.
chair. Be embarrassing.
Quite embarrassing.
15 on the die. I don't remember what 18.
You see, as you kind of glance over at him, he doesn't say anything, but he communicates in Windspeak and sends and signs over to one of the other barmaids in here, a younger girl by the looks of her. You understand exactly what he said. He said, that's your table, effectively, is what he told her. And she puts on a polite smile and makes her way over. She's a younger girl of about probably 16. She's got long blue hair and horns in the style of antlers. But she makes her way over. And yes, Cerberus, before you ask, she has her Tear of the Goddess.
Okay.
And to her knowledge,
And
has no
antlers.
enemies. And she does have antler-style horns.
What
But
do you think she
wa-
did when she woke up with antlers?
I don't know. I think she probably grew into them.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah. She walks over and smiles politely as she bows low. Hello, my name is Nymira. Very nice to meet you. Welcome to the Last Gasp. What can I get for you tonight?
Well, I know Melody wants dessert.
Oh. Excellent. My mother makes outstanding desserts.
I think a round of drinks would not go amiss.
Yes.
Excellent. Ales, whiskeys, liquors. What are we drinking?
Do you have any meads?
Meads? I do have. We have an excellent mead. It's a little early in the season. I will warn you. But some of the beekeepers to the west have begun to harvest some early honey.
I'll have some of that, please.
Mead, I can do.
Take
Take
a
a
whiskey.
light ale myself.
Whiskey,
Yeah,
ale.
I know you've said before, what would they have drunk in the mountains?
Probably vodka.
Goat piss.
What? Vodka.
Vodka.
Fermented goat piss.
I mean,
Yeah,
they-
fermented.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they would call potato liquor. Yeah, vodka, effectively.
They call
Yeah,
it
I guess,
vodka.
hold on, I'll ask. Potato liquor?
She smiles at that and nods. Ah, are you here on your pilgrimage?
Not quite.
Well, nevertheless, welcome, Sister of the Mountains. And she nods. We do carry a number of vodkas. She kind of eyes you up. I think I know the type. And she goes off to gather your drinks. But she does actually stop for Melody. And you, dear, what can I get for you?
Soup.
Soup? Sure.
Something nice and warm and hearty.
Absolutely. Did you all want to order food while we're at it then?
Sure. Yes.
Some
we'll
bread
have
and meat for the table, probably, and
Bread and meats? Absolutely.
whatever you recommend.
Well, we did have a hunting party come back from the God's Grass. They just brought back a deer, so we have some excellent venison chops tonight.
Brilliant. Yes,
Works for me.
those.
So
And what kind of fruits do you have?
fruit? Did you ask? Apples. We have actually, you were talking about dessert. My mother makes an outstanding apple pie. I do believe we still have some slices of that, if you were interested.
Ooh, I like apple pie and fresh
Excellent.
apples.
Excellent. I can bring some apples to the table then. Would you like some caramel to dip them in or something?
Caramel, never. Yes.
Oh, sorry. It's a delicacy of Lockheed's Landing, actually. Some of our elven friends brought it over. Oh, well, the story says the day the city was founded, but unlikely. But yes, absolutely. I could bring some apples and caramel for you, some breads and meats for the table, the drinks, and some desserts. I will be back.
Do you
shortly.
have any honeycomb?
That we'd use to make mead with, but I'm sure we could get you just a piece of honeycomb if you wish.
Great. And if it still has the bees in it, all the better.
We do try to make sure the bees don't come
She,
with.
Rialto just does this, like,
Oh, very, very well.
He has chosen the bees.
not the bees.
So you see her hurry off, and she hands some orders to her, to whom you presume is her father, and he starts to fill your drinks while she goes back into the kitchen to start gathering some things.
This will be a truly hearty meal, a good step on our rest. Do we have anything else we hope to accomplish in this place before we move on?
Simply going down to Lockheed's Rest, I believe. I don't believe we have anything of note that we have to do. There is the Temple of Lockheed, I suppose, that may have more information for us.
I know there's a library as well.
I
may
don't
do
think
some-
a visit would be out of order.
Yes, I agree. I may check the library as well. I'm still not given up on finding some alternative of either binding or destroying this weapon.
Understandable.
Because I think that what we're doing won't work, but, well, the more we know
dangerous.
about
Of
objects like this, the better.
Of course. Take the opportunity while you can.
Mhm.
It's about a couple minutes later when she comes back over with your drinks and also with a platter that has apples and caramel on it and breads. And she says that your venison chops are still preparing. Will take some time, and she'll bring out the rest of the food as it's ready.
Grand.
She bows her head politely. I do hope you enjoy your stay both at the Last Gasp and the Broken Line.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bears takes a giant bite out of the apple, straight into the core of it. He's chewing on the seeds, too. It's good.
She watches that for a moment before deciding to go check on her other tables.
Mm. I think you.
Fala is like,
Rialto put her notes that Varys has strong teeth.
I'm just gonna look at Falat. You get used to it eventually.
I doubt that.
More or less.
Oh, have
I
you guys
would've
never
said
had
the same a
apples
couple
before?
months ago.
Not with the seeds and not with such a large bite. What are your teeth made out of?
Elf bones, I think. My elf
bones.
bones.
Must have strength.
Your elf bones that you grew inside your own body.
As far as I know, I don't have anyone else's elf bone teeth.
And I was
This is how we've always eaten them. What do you do with we eat them like deer eat them. Whole.
What's everyone's passive perception?
Oh shit.
Not great.
Concern.
11, I think.
13.
Oh, 13. 13.
13.
17.
18.
Why is my fucking passive?
Melody
it
and Rialta,
Yeah.
as you're just kind of joking around about elf bones and tasting some of this food,
I'm deadly serious.
you see someone enter into the you two catch it as someone enters in. You wouldn't pay them another thought normally, however you do because you know them. He is a rather tall elven man
It's this fucking dancing dude again.
Yeah!
with
This is fucking
silver
bar.
hair, and his flesh gives off a sheen of almost metal, as if there are
Oh.
metallic fibers woven into it.
It's,
It's Lieutenant Rayner,
Oh.
Yeah, Robotnik.
whom you met
Oh.
in Mina's Reach.
Oh.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have noticed you, but he kind of hurries in. He looks like he's in something of a rush as he hurries over to speak with the owner, the man behind the bar. But he seems to be talking to him kind of hurriedly.
Lieutenant Raynor is here. Seems to be busy though.
And oh,
Can
Yes.
I call him over?
Who's Lieutenant Rayner?
we
Uh,
met him in Mina's Reach.
Yes.
I'm surprised
He
you
He
don't
was the
old
remember.
guy
him.
who
acquaintance
had
of
like the
ours.
fancy pink.
That's
Oh, it's
Fala.
Fala. Oh, I thought it was Carmen. Sorry. He's from, yes, he used to work in Mina's Reach and seems he has come back here.
Carmen
Well,
does
he
speak
didn't-
up then. She's like,
He
well,
didn't live
looks-
in Mina's. He
No.
didn't live in Mina's Reach.
No,
he might
he
live here.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's happy.
No.
Well, I
Lieutenant,
know a slice of apple pie with his name on it. Lieutenant Rainer!
Hard to
Uh,
tell when he's so shiny.
He stiffens at hearing his name and looks around.
And Melody is just like
Wave.
standing, like, just like frantically waving, a la
Looks
female
a chunk of-
Rogan style.
Looks genuinely shocked, but nods to the man behind the bar and walks over. Wow, you're all here. So good to see you all again. Oh my gosh, it's been since the Reach, right?
that's
Uh-huh.
correct.
How you been?
Oh, wow. Well, since then, wow, so much has happened, but for whom hasn't it, I suppose, right?
Very, very much agree.
You want some pie?
I thank you. I don't exactly have time at the moment. Yeah, sorry. Oh, where are my manners? I will have to make this somewhat brief. I returned to after the Reach shut down. I wasn't really interested in following wherever they were going to go next, so I returned home to Mitra Centauran, and went to go see my daughter. And well, unfortunately for me, when word reached Mitra Centauran that the call had gone out for people to fight, she was interested.
How old
Wait,
is your
you have a daughter?
I do. She's 16.
Oh my. No, then I guess
Congratulations.
technically she's just old enough to fight.
Ugh, well, she would certainly tell you as much, but I tried to insist otherwise, and well, anyway, when I woke up in the morning, she had departed in the evening.
Oh dear.
Bit
Yes.
headstrong.
Ugh, you have no idea.
Takes after you then, Lieutenant.
I can't imagine she's adopted, but
Oops,
perhaps
sorry.
she did.
Ah.
Yes, so I was hoping to catch up with her here in Lockheed's Landing, but if she's not here, perhaps she's already gone onwards towards Stone's Throw, or maybe she's gone down to Lockheed's Rest to say a prayer before she goes. I don't know yet which.
Well, what does she look like? If we're going to be going to Lockie's Rest on the morning.
Oh,
And with this many of us, it's much easier to find her than if just you're looking.
Uh-huh.
fair enough. Then perhaps we will split up. I will go to make my way towards the 2-day bridge, and you could make your way towards Lockheed's Rest.
Mm-hmm. Did you,
Yes.
description?
Yes, of course. Actually, give me one moment. I do need to look up one thing before I describe her. So feel free to
And-
converse.
Yeah, at that point,
Suspicious. He doesn't know what his
talking about
daughter looks like.
It
Don't
is
trust
He
suspicious.
it.
seems to be pausing as he's loading this information.
Brooks is just sort of like half side-eyeing him and visibly sort of like keeping her thoughts to herself.
She's got sort of chestnut brown hair. She is well. I should mention she's a Dia on Nadawir.
Oh.
But she does have a minor technoprosthesis on her hand, her right hand.
Right.
But outside of that, young 16-year-old girl, about 5'8",
All right.
pretty lithe. She she will be. If you see the giant suit of armor, you'll see her.
When you say
Oh, suit of
giant
armor.
suit of armor,
I'm not certain I could describe it if I wished to.
she
It's-
points to Varys, like, more giant than that?
Yes.
Huh.
Her armor,
Intriguing.
it stands about 7 feet tall.
The armor itself is 7 feet tall. How does she wear it?
She finds her ways.
Huh.
She pilots it.
You're more accurate than you know, Rialta.
Okay.
But
It's not a boat. It's a piece of armor. But I mean,
indeed.
right.
But if you find her, please send her home.
She's Dian Dwyer, brown hair, kind of common. Has she met with her spirit yet? That might be another identifying factor.
Yes. She does have a spirit. It is a small. It looks something like a drakeling.
Drakeling.
Mm-hmm.
Drakeling. Okay.
I see. Like a pseudo dragon, or a.
Sort of. Yes.
He points to. He has
Hemlock out.
his hemlock snake up his thing,
Oh.
or like a fairy dragon, like this.
Like that. Yes. Exactly like that.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Well, that'll be easy enough to find. There aren't too many people with that.
Oh no, Varys, you
Looking
were
at-
his daughter all along.
Looking at
Wait, I have
Varys.
chestnut hair. I've never been in the same room as her. I could be 16.
It's like, oh my
I look down. Am I
God.
in 7-foot armor?
You're not. It's the same armor as far as you can tell.
Phew. Okay.
But he
Thought I was having an out-of-body experience.
he nods. Obviously, I'll offer you whatever I can in exchange for her safe return. But she is very headstrong. But if you can convince her to return home, I have He looks conflicted himself.
If she's 16, surely she would listen to adults telling her what she needs to do, would she not?
He
also
he
not
has
that
a
much older than her.
1,000-yard stare on his face. Yeah.
Varys looks to Brux in confusion. Do they not? Huh. I see.
Bilal just raises an eyebrow.
Our circumstances were somewhat different.
Right. Understood,
Well-
of course.
We shall
Well,
let you know if we
if-
find her.
Well,
bodies.
my master taught me how to deal with headstrong youths, so
Great.
no worries there.
Well, thank you. It is very kind. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go try and look around the rest of the city before I set out.
Are you sure you don't want pie?
I'll tell
I
you what,
heard
Melody.
it's a local recipe.
I'll tell you what, Melody. I'll catch it on the next time through. Thank you.
Okay.
And he hurries out the door.
Poor man. Sounds like the
Indeed.
girl's giving him a heart attack.
I remember being a little headstrong at 16.
Oh, I was insufferable at 16. I had to get clawed across the ear several times before I would listen.
Ah,
My
well,
master
we
is-
are
And
adults.
usually I still wouldn't.
Well, we were adults at 15, so it's a little bizarre.
Technically, we don't reach maturity in theory till 23. That's when we can take our oaths in our name.
Hmm.
But the Nadweir live a long time, so
Fair enough.
regardless, she is headstrong, and well, it was good of him to adopt one of the people. I don't know why a other elven family wouldn't take her in. Seems
It
like
is
they-
strange. Maybe wherever they found her, maybe. I don't know if circumstances permitting or something.
yes. Well, it
Sure.
sounds like she's already engaged in some of that prosthesis. So
Part of the culture that she was raised in.
right,
Transplanted,
culture.
so to speak.
Right, of course.
While you're all talking about it, Nymira comes back over to the table and she sets down some more of your food. And she offers a small wake to Melody. You got the last of the pie, dear.
Thank you.
She nods very nice. And about that time, you all hear as the tiefling man behind the bar, apparently having just gotten another order for pie, goes over to the window and calls back, Aris, dear, we need more pie. And the girl at the table calls back, she's at the temple, Dad. And,
Aldana
he
goes
nods.
rigid.
And that's where we're going to wrap up for tonight.
Cerberus just gonna eat his apple. I don't know why that sounds familiar.